Hello everyone, it is Saturday, November 5th, and I am here at my local bookstore, coffee shop to sit in and write for a little while. I think I have about an hour before I have to go run errands. So not a lot of time, not as much as I would have liked, but it was a crazy day today and I am just happy to be able to cut my hair at all. I am going to take you guys with me a little bit, but something that I'm noticing is that I'm really getting into the story and into the flow, and that's when the larger number of writing, like the bigger numbers of word count actually happen. So I'm not going to film very much today. I'm going to focus more on that probably on Monday. And for today, I'm just going to really focus on enjoying the ambience, enjoying the atmosphere of the bookshop and the coffee shop inside the bookshop, and hopefully get my 2100 words done before tomorrow. Let's go. Well, welcome everyone to the second week of NaNoWriMo and to the second of these weekly NaNoWriMo vlogs. Real quickly, if you're new here, my name is Joanna G. Holden. I am a mommy author and I write fantasy. Right now I'm writing a fairy tale retelling, a YA fairy tale retelling, Swan Song. And it is Monday the 7th. It's about 9:30, a little before. I'm getting a pretty late start on writing tonight, but I did take the time, first of all, to clean up the kitchen, so I don't have to deal with that tomorrow, because it was a mess. But I also took about 15 minutes to do just some easy yoga stretches, just to kind of stretch out all the kinks in my body, because I feel like I've done so much sitting this last week that I desperately need it. And I have been really struggling to find a time of day that fits for like workouts. I may just honestly have to start doing it at night. I know that some people do and really love it. Some people have tried and hate it. I don't know what'll work out for me, but for right now, I have, my mother-in-law got me this candy cane herbal tea. I'm assuming it tastes nothing like actual candy canes, but I love peppermint, so I'm gonna hopefully be pleasantly surprised. We're gonna see. I've got some herbal tea. I've got my computer. I've got all of my notes on character arcs that desperately need to be reorganized because some children tipped them over. This afternoon I did write, and I got up to, I think, about the 12,000 word mark is what I want to say where I am. I got about 1,100 and something words in this afternoon, but it was a bit of a struggle. Part of that was that I was insanely distracted, and I've been bombarded the last couple of days with all of these ideas for additional plots that I could pursue in the fantasy romance series that I'm also kind of sort of working on the side. And I was also being bombarded with ideas for my main project with it, which is a high fantasy, adult high fantasy that I'm calling Project Coastlander. I'm genuinely, I'm really struggling here with wanting to write all of the books and feeling honestly a little pressed that I need to write all of them like right now, which is not great. But the words that I got written, I did love. I just wrote the scene. So if you don't know the story of the Wild Swans or the Six Swans, I've combined the two to create one cohesive fairy tale story. And our main character, Princess Eliza, was living in the cottage to be safe from her evil stepmother, the queen, and her brothers were turned into swans, so her father brought her home. And we just wrote the scene where she first meets up with the evil queen again, and oh, I loved it so much drama, but also just the she's so creepy, but gorgeous and young and just, oh, I love it. It's so amazing. Anyways, I'm gonna get on to writing, and I will let you guys know at the end of the evening. My goal for tonight is very simple. I just need, I think, 2,000 words to, or not, wow, 2,000 words, I hope not. About 1,000 more words on this project to be done for the night, and I think I may call it a night early since we're all still getting adjusted to the time change. I was actually just with my toddler. He's really struggling, and we had lost a pacifier or something, and I had to find, it's been one of those days. So I may, after I'm done writing, take some time to do some aesthetics, maybe just come up with one of the things that actually is very calming to me is coming up with names for characters that don't exist yet. Which is handy because then later on I have this list of names. I may also work over some more titles, just something to kind of be a little bit easier but still be writing, because that's where my brain wants to be, but I'm not sure that I have that much of Swan Song in me tonight. So let's get to the writing and see what happens after. realized earlier that my lighting was absolutely terrible. Let's see if I can fix that. There. Okay, so I am finished for the night. I got in multiple sprints. I joined some on, I'm part of a Discord group, and I did some on there. And I did a couple on my own, but I ended up getting in, actually, how many words did I get? I'm up to a total of 13,607. So I know that I'm over my count. I actually wrote a little bit more than I had planned to, like a little longer than I had planned to, just because I had really wanted to finish the scene. I mentioned this, I think, in last week's video, but I am very much like plot driven when it comes to writing sessions, and so finishing the scene was, I think, the most important thing to me at that point. But I don't do math in my head, so I'm just going to throw out the numbers. The first writing session was 1,121 words, the second one was 1,168 words, and then the last one was only like 315 words. So overall, I am just a little bit ahead of what the chart is. I'll show you here. Pardon my very dirty screen. A child may have splattered some milk on it. But you can see here, I've been keeping just a little bit ahead, and that should allow me to catch up. You can see right there, there was a little dip over the weekend. That should allow me to catch up over the weekends too. So, and then yeah, you can see my word counts. The scene that I was writing was the reaction to that first public appearance by the princess and meeting the stepmother queen character again, and it was really good. I was struggling a little bit with figuring out how much the mentor type character is supposed to actually like give her of her journey at this point. I don't want it to be very predictable where like someone just straight up tells her what she needs to know at the beginning and then she finds it out later. I want it to be a little bit more subtle, especially since right now it's not something I think that she can take. Where she's at emotionally, she's not going to hear it. I don't think she needs to hear it right now. I think she needs to kind of get out of this situation first so that she can get a little bit of perspective. The other thing I'm having a little bit of trouble with, and it's not really trouble, it's a second draft issue, but I've noticed myself repeating certain sentiments and certain thoughts and certain phrases that as she's kind of piecing together in her head, like that inner dialogue of figuring out what's happening and her response to it. And I'm finding a lot of repetitiveness to it. But that's something where I think I can go later, in the next draft, I can sit down, pull this one out, and highlight all of the places where this type of sentiment is mentioned in this first quarter, and then kind of go back through and comb through it and make sure that I'm not repeating and that I've, layered it a little bit more to where we're getting a little bit more each mention of it, but we're not getting the same thing over and over again. So that's all I've got for tonight. Tomorrow night I'm actually going to be on an author call, which I'm very excited about because I can finally talk about all these extra story ideas and get them out of my head so that I can get back to writing this. So I'll probably chiefly write in the afternoon, and I will try very hard to film, but I've noticed it's harder to film in the afternoon, probably because there's like kids around and I don't really want to film me, in my bedroom on my messy bed. It's not very aesthetically pleasing, so we'll see what I end up filming tomorrow, but I will get with you guys again very soon, and we'll talk more of the story and where I'm at and the word count goals. Hi, it is now Tuesday, and I have already done one writing session for today. I did it earlier this afternoon, and I got in 1,164 words, and I'm trying to think what plot point I'm even on. This is where I think my, after enough years of rereading the same books over and over again and, combining all kinds of different plot beats and writing craft workbooks, that it's kind of all melded together. So in my head, I know the structure of what I'm supposed to do, but I no longer remember the individual names for it. So I think, I want to say I'm like right at about halfway through Act 1, or, well, probably more like 2/3 of the way, if things go well, which already I'm way over my word count for what I want this novel to be, but I'm also only, a week and a couple of days into Nano, so I'm hoping that this just means that I'll still be where I want to be in the book at the end of the month. I may just have more words than I had hoped for. Anyways, I wanted to film before it got dark. I felt frustrated last night I didn't have lighting set up. One of the
frustrations of being a night writer, is that it's not as aesthetically pleasing to film in the dark, even with nice lights on. And because of time change, now it's getting hard to film here like in the evenings. So I'm sneaking in this right now while supper's cooking. I'm fixing to take my laptop outside and go out with the kids, watch them play before it gets completely dark. I'm not going to be working on my project though. I'm going to save my final 1,000 words for tonight after they're in bed. And right now I am working on a little bit of a side project. One of the things that I really love doing as an author is taking projects that I wrote a bunch of words on but either never finished or that I will not be publishing in that form, and going ahead and uploading them to KDP and printing off personal copies just for me. Sorry, the table's moving the camera. But printing off copies just for me. I've done this with Super Secret Project. I did this with my The Count of Rontasea, which was the inspiration for this high fantasy that I'm working on over here, you know, and then I got Swan Song over here. All that to say, I wanted to take the version of the Project Co-Thunder books that I had almost finished in 2018, and then paused to recalibrate, and it's not really a whole lot much like what I've got now. And I wanted to go ahead and combine what I had and print it, because I ended up with 131,979 words of this massive project, and it was only like 3/4 of the way done. So I wanted to at least have it to be able to read on occasion. I do love reading over old work. It's very nostalgic, and I think the most important thing is seeing these books set on the bed. Like if I were to spread them all on the bed, I think I have 5, including this one would make 5 printed out. And just seeing that I've already written books, seeing all of these wonderful stories that I have done before, even if they're not publishable. And then adding to them, you know, things like Snowdust and Littlehood that I actually have published, and eventually taking Swan Song and printing it out in a KDP proof copy so that I can, you know, because it's cheaper than printing off the whole manuscript on my own printer, so I can highlight it up and having that there. Just like seeing my books. So if you have stories that you've written and you're never going to publish them, or you never finish them and they're full of nostalgia but they're getting lost in the shuffle of constant notebooks, I would encourage you, you know, take what you have on your computer or retype it up and print off a basic proof copy with a thrown together, you know, stock photo cover, and just have physical proof that you have written books. It will make the world of difference. It will make you feel, first of all, all this nostalgia and the sentiment needs, but it will also just make you realize how much work you have already done, and all of the build up toward what you're working on right now, that you already are an author. Anyways, that is my speech for the day. I'm going to go watch the kids and put this thing together so that I can print it off tomorrow. And I will talk to you guys, probably not tonight, because immediately after writing I have to go make a phone call. But tomorrow I will definitely catch up with you guys and let you know where I'm at.
It is Thursday now, and I have suddenly realized that today is my last day to film. Yesterday I did not end up doing any writing at all. I just took a rest day. I just knew when I woke up that it needed to be a rest day. I ended up staying up way later than I meant to Tuesday night with the side project I was working on. I got 2,774 words written on Tuesday, which was phenomenal. It was more than I needed, and I think that put me a little bit ahead heading into yesterday, but then not having written at all yesterday. Today is going to have to be a catch-up day, but it's going to have to be like a double catch-up day, because I suddenly realized, like last night, it suddenly hit me that I'm actually not going to be here this weekend. About a week ago, we signed up last minute for a family camp that was happening this week. We've been to before, the kids love it, but I just, for some reason, it did not compute for me that I'm going to be gone Friday afternoon to Sunday afternoon, and I'm not going to be able to write. In fact, I had scheduled a write-in with a friend for Sunday afternoon for several hours, and I don't think I'll be able to make it, just because I'm not going to feel up to doing anything by the time I finally get home. So today's going to be interesting. I really don't have, like, theoretically I think I could hit 3K, which is still a lot, but I could hit 3K and be good and not have that much really to catch up on Monday. But between Friday and Saturday, I need like 4,200 words between the two of those days that I need spread out over the next couple of writing sessions. Or not a couple of writing sessions, but over the next couple of actual writing days. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to head inside now. I'm going to be in the bedroom, but I'm going to try and bring the camera with me this time, even though my bedroom is crazy. And it's a tiny little room. But I'm going to bring y'all in with me, and we're just going to write for like, I don't know, an hour maybe. And that's the other thing is I don't really have a whole bunch of time to write today because I want to be with my kids. I need to be getting rest stuff ready for going for the camp. It's one of those things where I completely forgot. I did all of that planning in October, and because it was so last minute, it didn't register. So we're gonna see. My goal for today is 3,000. If I could hit upwards of 3,000, I would love it, especially if I could get pretty close to 5. But I'm not gonna push. I'm just gonna do as much as I can, and then we'll see what happens. I'm definitely gonna be writing tonight, so stay tuned, and we'll see what happens. Hi. I'm coming and sitting and writing.
Can I see my list too?
With mommy. Yeah, you have a list too.
I didn't see it. I see that list too.
I'm almost done, okay? We're almost done. Oh. Oh. All right, hang on. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna raise this so I actually have some line on my face. There. This is gonna be a little bright, but that's okay. It is so amazingly beautiful outside right now. Well, writer friends, it is now Sunday. Oh my gosh, it has been the craziest weekend. So I had planned to finish filming Thursday night and wrap up and edit and upload this video today. But clearly that did not happen. So let me give you a real quick recap of what happened. Thursday afternoon, I managed to get in 2,770 words in my afternoon writing sprint. I think I wrote for about 2 hours. It was amazing. I got all of my words for the day plus some in such a small amount of time, and I felt like the story was just like really moving forward quickly and really well. And I planned to double my writing that afternoon, or not that afternoon, that evening, so that I could at least have one additional day for the weekend covered so I didn't have to worry about it. That did not happen because we ended up going over to a family member's house to see another family member who was going to be in town for a limited time, and we just wanted to really take that time and spend with her and just really enjoy and soak up the good time. We played cards, we talked. It was amazing. But we did not get home until 10, and then the kids were in bed until 10:30, and then I was just done. I was hungry, and I was tired, and I was grumpy, and I was trying really hard not to stress about um, how much people time I was going to have to stay charged for all weekend. So I just went ahead and went to bed. And then over this weekend, obviously I didn't get any writing done at all because I've been at family camp all weekend, which was an amazing camp, by the way. I feel like I should say we went to, and we had so much fun, and I'm so glad that we did go. It was a lot of people, which for me just means that it drains my batteries faster. So now I'm really looking forward to a week where I can kind of recharge those batteries with a lot of alone time. But my biggest concern was that I did not get the extra words in, so I knew that I was going to be 4,200 behind heading into this week. However, I am very pleased to announce that I'm not significantly more than 4,200 words behind. I have all the little math stuff here. So right now I'm supposed to be at, as of yesterday, I'm supposed to be at 23,100 words, and I'm currently sitting at 18,694 words, which means that I'm only 4,407 words behind. I thought I was going to be at least 5, possibly more. I'm only 4,407 words behind. And so my plan going into this coming week is very simple. Just take those extra words and sprinkle them in as I can throughout the week until I'm finally caught up. It was definitely worth not getting the words written over the last couple of days to be able to go and do what we did. And I'm now more excited than ever to be back into the story. This whole past 2 weeks, I feel like, has been me finding this story's voice. And now that I have it, I feel like I am ready to just move right through it. So my hope is that starting tomorrow, Monday, I will be able to really start just going right through, writing all the scenes and all, getting the momentum back
that I feel like I have been missing the last 2 weeks, really getting a good momentum heading into the middle of the month. So that is the end of my writing for this for this vlog. I promise that these will get better and a little bit more efficient. I'm getting back in the habit of turning the camera on when I write and remembering to talk about what I'm writing. I'm still not doing it every day like I need to be, but I'm getting there. Like, I'm actually doing it. And given that we've been doing school and we've had weird random life things like this visit pop up out of nowhere and a family camp that I forgot about pop up out of nowhere, I feel like I'm doing really well. I'm not going crazy. I'm not hitting ridiculous high word counts every day, but I feel like I'm doing really well. I'm hitting my word count goals. And even this bit that I'm behind, if we hadn't gone, I probably would be right on track. Like, that's kind of the consistency. And that's something that I think is super important to remember in Nano, especially when you have people like me who have, shared videos where we just went crazy high word counts right off the bat and, one super early and everything. That's great. That's wonderful. Super inspiring. It's inspiring for me to look back on and remember. But consistency is key. Burnout is a real thing. It happens a lot. And I am not feeling burnt out in the middle of the month like I normally am. So I'm taking this into consideration as I move ahead into future Nanos, and not just Nanos, but other months where I attempt drafting books. I'm wondering if I need to quit with the giant word count days. I know that that's like sacrilegious, especially with like deadlines and everything, but honestly, I mean, like, I've always loved the idea of a 10K day, but do I really need it? Would it not be wiser for me to just consistently write 2K every day for, you know, 5 days and be sure that I hit it, then hit a 10K day and then not be able to write for like 2 weeks? Which has happened to me before, where I've hit really crazy high word count goals and then just been like done for a month. I'm very curious to see. I'm thinking that I might try to stick with 5K or less for the rest of the month and just really push myself to be consistent, to make sure that I'm writing every afternoon and as many evenings as I can, and that I'm finding the rest and the balance in between to really stay on fire for the story rather than just burning out really quickly. So that is my wonderful philosophical advice for the day. Also, I had to show you. I can't show you the front because I don't really like the cover that I ended up coming up with, and I don't really want to show it because I might actually be using this for something else. But I did get my little printed copy of the old version of the project co-sender. Look, it's so beautiful. I took the time to put in a table of contents, which took me forever. Also, if you are using KDP, I, for some reason, have this really bad habit of just uploading regular Word documents to be printed instead of PDF, saving documents and then uploading them. And it messes around with like where stuff is on the page. And I didn't realize that that's what was causing the problems until this one, because it took me like hours to get it all aligned correctly in the Word document. And then as soon as I put it in the KDP format, it all went crazy, which made the table of contents useless. So I have learned a lesson that I need to be not so lazy and actually like PDF save everything. I have like a part 1, and it starts off with chapter 1, and there's like 43 chapters, and it's so hefty, 132,000 words or something, 137, 134, I have no idea. It's less than 140, or less than 140, more than 130,000. So I'm excited. This has me really, really excited, because what I think I want to do is read this over the rest of November and December, because I feel like this is the prequel to Mark's story. Mark's my main character in Project Co-Slander. This book was written when I had him as an 18-year-old, and he currently, and the new story is, he's turned 30, I think, in the middle of the book. So I think this would be fun to reread, and kind of remember who Mark was at 18, and then read the copy that I have printed off of the newest version, the 42,000 words I wrote in July, as kind of like a recap of where he is now, emotionally, mentally, all those things. I love it. I have so much. I actually, in next week's video, you guys will get to learn about another project that I'm going to be working on. I know all the projects, right? I need to finish what I'm working on, but I've been a good girl. I've been working on what I'm working on. And I have another project that I want to talk about that may be resurfacing. Hint if you know already, that has been printed off like this. So that is all for now. I'm going to leave you. Make sure to like and comment so that YouTube keeps recommending this video. And if you're not subscribed already, be sure to subscribe. We got more Nano coming up, but more importantly, we have more writing process videos coming up,
vlogs that will be discussing my pre-writing process, my drafting process, my post-writing process, my publishing plans, all of those things. You guys get to walk with me through this journey to kind of see some of it unfold. Not the world's biggest expert, but you guys can hopefully watch me make some mistakes, have some big victories, and it will inspire you and give you some new ideas. So make sure you're subscribed. That was what all of that was to say. Was subscribe and hit the notification bell. I love you all so very much. I hope you have an amazing third week of Nano coming up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!